Hey, welcome to North Community Corner and all the surrounding areas here. We got two strong candidates that are running for offices here in Manchester. The Honorable Ross Terrio,
Hey, Norm.
And Brian Cole.
Hi, Norm.
Hey, I got his name right.
Wow.
Dave. All right.
Like old King Cole.
Amazing.
I'm sorry?
Like old King Cole.
Right, Nat Cole did.
Nat Cole, the singer,
Nat Cole,
yeah.
Great singer. Yep. Okay. And Brian, we want to tell a little about yourself?
I moved here to Manchester in '98. Been here 23 years. I own a business here in Manchester. Hire local people to work for me. I've seen the city kind of go downhill, so that's why.
Don't bang the table; you'll get yelled at.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's why I have that.
We'll call security.
There you go. Need something to do with my hands. So that's a little bit of my background. I went to college at Southern New Hampshire University.
What do you have a degree in?
I have a degree in economics and finance and accounting.
Excellent. And small business owner.
Yep.
That's what I like hearing. We can do it. I want to make people proud of Manchester again.
Mm-hmm.
And until we start changing the political views, the mayor and all that. And by the way,
And parts of his concern, though, is that he interviews a lot of, he has entry-level jobs and he interviews people and he sees that maybe the Manchester School District isn't educating our young people for the, as good as it could for the workforce.
I agree. Not everybody is meant to go to college.
No.
Okay?
Nope.
But I think they deserve, I don't care if they're from wherever they're from, do they deserve a great education? Absolutely. Something tells me that you're going to be a fighter. We're going to do our best to help you win.
I appreciate that.
And I'm not bashful. If I don't like you, I'm going to tell you that too.
Well, that's
Am I
good to
right?
know.
Yes.
Okay. But the one thing, you have a lot of integrity. You have children that are in school?
I do not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. You had children in
Oh, yeah,
They
three.
went to the Manchester school.
Oh, yeah,
right?
all three of my kids went through the Manchester School District.
Yeah. This is the only thing I have a problem with. Like the man goes to the Holy Trinity or Craig's go to the private, and all these people that talk about education, but yet their children are not in the public schools.
I'm not sure, though. I thought the mayor's, I know one of her kids, I thought, went to Central High School.
Well, okay.
I could be wrong.
If
I
I'm wrong,
don't know
no,
her
yeah,
specifics.
I apologize if I'm wrong. Could be maybe. But the one thing is, we got to improve. I don't agree with the superintendent of schools, first of all. I want to see reading, writing, and arithmetic come back into the play.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to create a strategic plan. It's going to set a straight course for all the teachers. It's going to have straight guidance. It's going to have straight goals. It's going to be a clear vision on how to get the school district back on track. That's
What
we
would
need to
you
do.
offer the citizens of Manchester if you won, when you win?
What was the question?
What will you offer?
Just that, the strategic plan, guidance. With my degree in business, I'll be out. Sorry, didn't mean to tap the table there.
Don't be flashing the sign.
I will stick within the budget. This can function within the budget. So,
And we can, can't we, Ross?
Yes.
yes.
Where does some
Well,
money
wait,
go?
but I wanted to add something real quick. So the school, the school budget I remember was about 173. But what a lot of people don't know, and they were giving, I voted to add about $10.5 million from the state adequacy aid. So in addition to the school budget, it's going to be going up 173 and each year over the next 3 years. So we're also going to add $10.5 million. But we're getting ESSER money from the federal government, almost $85 million. So on top of the school budget, which is in the $170 million, on top of that in 3 years, we're adding approximately $85 million. So that's what, $28 million a year. So approximately $28 million a year for the next 3 years on top of the school budget. And then on top of that, we're spending another about $10.5 million from the state. So between the state and federal government, on top of our budget, so we're not cutting anything, we're adding almost $95 million in 3 years. So, when he says we can do it within the budget, we definitely can, because we're adding a boatload of money. And if we can't improve test scores and dropout rates and reading proficiency, math proficiency with that much money in 3 years, I'd be extremely disappointed if 3 years from now there's no improvement in the Manchester School District. we have some serious problems, and there needs to be some accountability, and heads need to roll if in 3 years with that much extra money, because that's what we've been hearing for years, that, we don't spend enough per pupil. We're going to be spending a fortune, and if they can't, with all that money, if they can't improve, obviously it's not going to happen in a year.
No.
But if we can't improve test scores and proficiencies and dropout rate in 3 years with that much money, then we've got serious problems, and we need to make some big changes.
Absolutely. How would you propose to do that?
I mean, the extra money is certainly going to be helpful, but I think we have to concentrate also on the policy side.
Now the mayor is the chairman of the school board, right?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Oh my God! I mean, but I'm a firm believer that we need instead of a mayor, we need a city manager.
We'd have to change our
Your charter.
not the ordinance, the charter.
Really?
That would be a lot of work.
So
yeah.
you just can't put a.
No.
Oh.
The charter says we have it spells out our city government, school board, alderman, mayor. So we'd have to, and it's hard. A lot of, like, if just in this last primary, they wanted to put a charter, they wanted to vote for a charter or whatever, charter amendment, or create a charter commission if it got voted down. So people don't want to, and even when we did have a charter commission and they came up with a charter changes, that usually gets voted down too.
You know what my biggest problem is with people who lose in a race, and they have to be such spoiled brats. This and that, and that's, you lost. Get over it. Victoria lost the first time. Get over it. Reorganize. Don't you agree?
I
Dave?
agree.
Get over it. I think if people will follow suit and they want changes, I'm going to go between 53 and 55% going for Victoria. If you don't want to change it, then it's not good.
Well, it's like I told John, so not very scientific. So my wife's a Democrat, my neighbor's a Democrat. He's actually a distant relative of mine. He lives down the street from me. So they're both Democrats. They're not going to vote for Republican, but they're not going to vote for Joyce either. They're very unhappy with the direction of the city. They blame Joyce. She's had 4 years. And so they'll just leave it blank. So I'm sorry, but I interrupted
I was
you.
just going to say, that's so sad. Because they got a D after their name, they refuse to. I don't know why somebody won't make the choice to vote for someone that's going to improve the overall quality of life, as opposed to, they won't vote for that, but yet, this one, they're decreasing your quality of life. And because they're a Democrat, I'm voting for them. I mean, look at the national problem now.
But in this case, they're not voting. They won't vote Democrat. They're not going to vote for a Democratic mayor, and they're Democrats.
I know, but that's what I mean. How sad is that? I mean, they're
gonna leave
wasting
it
a
blank.
vote. Right.
I'm getting, my son says he's not sure if he wants, even though he's a Trump man, a Republican and all that, but because of all the fraud that's going on and all that. I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of, because we got all this fraud going on and all that,
I don't know if fraud. They just did a recount in Manchester, and the totals came out almost pretty close. I think the vote totals only changed slightly. So
Well, I'm talking about the whole nation.
Oh, that I don't know about. I believe in New Hampshire we have clean and very
I would hope so.
competent elections, and we know based on the recount in Manchester that the city of Manchester did a good job in the primary, and because the vote totals changed by just a handful of votes out of thousands cast.
See, I don't believe in the mail-in the votes. And if you really believe in your city, and you go and cast your ballot. And I love giving the Democrats a hard time. You should see me. I don't take sides when I go in there. I have my picture taken with Bill Berry, who I have a lot of respect.
Yeah, I know you like Bill. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're on opposite political view. But I go and I have all my pictures taken, all that, and stuff. I like being the center of attention when I go to the polls. The only thing is that when I went and I had to wear Make America Great Again, and I can't remember his name. Who's the senator from New Hampshire that did for many, many years? He's an old man.
Dick Sweat? No. The Judd Gregg.
No, he's not from New Hampshire.
Yeah,
the
Judd Gregg
state.
was
No,
ours.
the state. He's a state senator.
Oh, state. Oh. You got Ted Gatzis. You've got D'Alessandro.
That's the one. D'Alessandro wore a Biden mask.
Yeah.
And if I had a cut, and I would have said, how come he can wear a Biden mask, but I can't wear a...
Oh, they made you take your hat off.
Yes, they did.
Oh, I see. Well, this is interesting, and John Hopwood alluded to this, actually mentioned it. So there's redistricting this year. And in Manchester, we have 3 state senators. We have Lou D'Alessandro, we have Kevin Kavanaugh, and we have Donna Soucy. So what they've done is they did a district, so Senator D'Alessandro has like Goffstown, Senator Kavanaugh has Hooksett, and maybe some other towns, and then Senator Soucy has Litchfield attached. So what John Hopwood was saying, he's probably right, is Manchester's going to cut down to 2 senators because you
I
could.
thought we had 2.
No, we have 3.
Oh.
So D'Alessandro, Kavanaugh, and Soucy. But he said John was saying that with redistricting, they're probably only going to have 2. So one of them is probably going to not make the cut. But Lou, so is pretty old. I would see him retiring and not running against Donna or Kevin Kavanaugh.
And I felt badly because he really pushed for the legal gambling down in Salem at the racetrack there. He was really one at a casino.
I wanted gambling too, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, the majority of people up in government don't think we should have gambling, I guess.
Yeah. Well, okay, Mr. Cole, I'm going to call you the early Honorable Brian.
Call him Old King Cole.
Old King Cole.
That's
right.
fine. That
So
works.
people
Well,
remember.
actually, what I've been told is, like when he's the honorable because he's an alderman, But who are you running against? I don't. We never hear.
Chris Potter.
Now is he already on the school board?
No, he's not.
Oh, so both of you are.
So most of us are seeking the first term on the
that's
school.
Well, so obviously I'm a sitting alderman. I'm running against Mary Heath, and then he's Brian's running against Chris Potter, who's a nice kid.
When I've never heard of him.
But yeah, he's never held a law office before.
And you know me, I'm pretty nosy. Being a psychic, I have to be nosy.
But
Right.
Brian and I
That's
are working
right.
as a team, so hopefully we're successful.
Well, I'm a firm believer, folks. If you don't want change, leave it the way it is. But if you want good changes, you got 2 competent people here that are willing to work hard, and you sacrifice a lot of your own private life by running for us, am I not?
Well, I give up a lot of money, especially with this election. So I have a part-time job. I work. I'm a hospital pharmacist. I have 2 jobs, but my part-time job, I make good money there. But I just haven't been able to do it with being an alderman and running for election. The last few months, I haven't been able to pick up extra hours.
But you enjoy being in the office.
It's a lot of work. I enjoy it. It's a lot of work. But you know what? Here's the thing. I enjoy it. I work hard for people. I do my best. But if I lose, I lose. That's okay, too. I'll be disappointed, but that's okay. Then Mary will be fine. Mary can do the job,
That's good.
and she can. It's. I'll describe it like this. It's like a pie eating contest, and when you win, you get the prize is more pie.
Yeah. But see, this is the thing is that even when you lost the first time you ran, okay, you didn't cry. I mean, you were disappointed. Don't get me wrong, but you didn't slam. Oh, that's sort of that one. You said, oh, but you learned from it. Say with you, I actually will congratulate you early.
Oh, I hope so, but
Well, I'm usually pretty accurate. That's what I make.
Oh, yeah, you got to do her reading on here.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
sure.
We both will. How's that?
Okay.
Oh, do you do readings too?
I do readings
Excellent.
also.
I like your bracelet. That's kind of unusual.
Thanks.
That's
I've probably had this one for about 10 or 12 years.
It
I have a
almost-
lot of people. It looks like a
it
handcuff.
almost looks like it looks like a watch band a little bit, or a handcuff, but it's just unusual. It's kind of
We're gonna use
metallic,
my
kind of
truck.
industrial looking.
Yeah, what is it? Titanium, I think. It's
Expensive.
I've been wearing bracelets. God, it's got to be 40 years. So however long they last,
Well, you're like
all of a
39
sudden
now.
you look one day and it's gone. So, but this one
Brian,
I've
I'm
had
going
for
to
quite
have
a
you shuffle
while.
those.
Okay. It's nice.
Are you married?
I'm sorry?
Are you married?
No, I am not, sir.
You want to get married?
I'd like to get married, yes.
You will.
Oh,
The
yeah?
problem is you got a chip on your shoulder,
Do I?
and you got to drop it down so that the women can respect you. Don't be so insecure.
And how many should he pick out?
Pick out 5
Pick out 5
Just
anywhere
5
you
random
want to, on the
cards?
Don't
top
look
or
at
in the
them.
middle
You
or
know,
wherever you
I'll
want
take
to
the
do it.
top 5.
and give it to me.
Wow, look at this, top 5.
Hey, folks, you can count. We need an all.
I don't have a clue what that is. But
I don't have no idea what that
I've vaguely heard of the Prussian education model, but I don't know enough about it to talk in an educated manner.
Yeah, neither do I.
I want to say, and I'll just, from what I remember, the Prussia, which was a part of the German Empire, was an early proponent of like public education. It was a rigorous, good education, but that's I couldn't say that. I just don't know enough about it to talk in an intelligent manner.
I will hang
Now,
on to
that's
this, though.
honesty.
I'm going to hang on to this, and I'll look it up.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'll
look
find
it
out
up.
Yeah,
about it.
please do. That's from one of mine. See, you're being watched already like a watchdog. Okay. You've been through a lot of confusion in your life. What are the things that now that you're learning who you want to be and where you're at now, you're also, and you're committed to whatever you do. Like you own a business, you're very committed to that. And right now, I do see you being very committed. I believe we're going to put it out there that you can win. I'm not going to. I'm going to tell you about 95%. And you're going to be, very committed to what you do.
I am.
And the one thing that you're going to have to learn is patience. Because you can be pretty impatient.
I can.
Okay, especially when you want to get things done the right way. I actually see that I do believe in it. When you do run, that's only the stepping stone into your political career.
One can only hope.
We never hope. We always know.
Okay.
Hope is the angels will hope with you.
Oh, that's good.
But when you know very well. I also will tell you that your parents are very proud of you.
Well, that's good to hear.
Okay. You don't want to move out of Manchester. Please tell me you don't want to
No,
move
I don't.
out
I
of
have
Manchester. Okay.
No interest in
Because
moving
they
out.
showed me you got to have an option to move out if you want to.
Oh.
Okay. But I think you're pretty good fast here. We all love the city. I don't know.
I like living here.
I came here in '88 and I had no
wow.
regrets.
Yeah. I came here in 98.
Yeah. And I had no regrets. It's that I just don't like the way it's going downhill. And I'm not bashful about slamming it either, When you make a decision, you got some coming within the next 13 days, considering your political career. Okay. You ponder before you even decided to run. You pondered out all the options. Can I do it? Because the one thing that you have got to learn to have within yourself is more confidence. Okay. You're not a pushover anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're not you are a not a people pleaser, but you're a person pleaser. In other words, you know that you can't please everybody. And you're not going to tell, like with that question we were just asked, you're not going to give them a false statement. 9 out of 10, she knows what it is, or he or she knows what it is. And so you're not going to give a false story.
No.
Okay. And whoever, when you're on the board, you're going to support right or wrong. If you don't agree with, I actually see your name in a lot of different disagreements.
Really?
Yeah. Which is good for the which is good for the school, because you're like I am. Even though you may not have children in the school, you will someday.
I do care.
Okay. And education is very important
It is very
to
important.
all of us. Okay. If they had the slow learning disability classes when I was in school, I probably wouldn't have done well. But I did well. Instead of when I went for 3 years, it took me 5 years to go to school. But I made it. That's all that counts. And you're not afraid to appraise someone for doing a good job.
No. When praise is deserved,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. No. There's no problem with giving somebody a pat in the back and telling them they're doing a good job.
You're a perfectionist.
I try to be.
You're overly perfectionist.
Well, I hope it's not a shortcoming.
That's who. Oh no, but that's who you are.
Okay.
Okay. You have a large company.
I wouldn't say it's large, but it's a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah. Well, you work from the bottom up.
Yes,
Okay. Everything you have done in your life, you worked very hard for.
I've worked very hard.
Your parents taught you responsibility at a very young age.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
I started working when I was 12 years old.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Isn't that what's great about America? We can work if we want to or whatever. I won't tell you what I started out as. I'd be in trouble. I also will tell you, I do see, are you in a relationship right now?
I am not.
Are you truly ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Now, you're going to have to balance your political career, your business career, and with a lady friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's not easy.
I'm sure
Ross
it
can
isn't.
tell you. Okay. You might have different points of views and like that, whatever. But the lady I see is going to be about 5 years younger than you are.
Oh.
Very intelligent.
Well, that's good.
What
Not
does she look
the-
like?
That's not. Actually, she's going to come up here. She's going to be a little stealthy. I'm not going to call her fat, but her big bones will make her look that. And she's got like I'm looking at long hair, and she looks like she could be an educator, and she wears glasses. Okay, her appearance means a lot to her.
Yeah.
Okay, she also has a champagne taste.
Oh.
So you better zip that wallet up, not let
Right.
the bottle fall
Better
out
have a
of it.
prenuptial then.
There you go. But also, wasn't it, with whomever you're with, you respect whoever you're with. If you're with a lady friend, you're always very respectful, open the door for them and allowing them to order or whatever. Then after you just trip them up and watch them fall, that's okay. Joker, that means you've got a lot of confusion in your life that you got to learn to. So your mind is going 150 miles an hour.
It always does.
You don't sleep a whole head. When you sleep, your subconscious mind is still going.
Probably.
And the one thing that you said that you've had enough of the way the education is in Manchester, and you truly do want to see the children improve,
I do.
whether they're from another country or whether they're not from another country.
50% of the school population are now people of color. And there's a language barrier now. And we need to educate the kids on how to speak English
Right.
so the teachers can communicate them, get them back on the right track.
And that's the whole thing. I think everybody, I don't care if they're 80 years old, like almost 80 like me, of course. Of course, I'm only 17. Nobody ever believes in me. But I don't care if they're 80. If they want to go to school, they should have the right to go. If they haven't never got their high school diploma and they want to go to a school, I honestly feel that they should be. But if they want to work hard and do, maybe they have night classes, right? Or do they still have night classes now?
No, my understanding is they don't have night classes anymore.
They don't. Would you promote night classes?
I would promote, I know that the boys club, they have teachers that volunteer their time now, and the kids can go there if they're struggling in certain subjects, and they will concentrate. And they'll
No,
have
I'm
the
talking
kids
about like for
along.
adults.
For adults?
MST has an adult education. I thought you meant for students, for regular age students. MST has an adult education program. I know that for.
That's where the studio started, as MST.
Oh.
We had a little hole though, small in this room, 2 big cameras, a fireplace, and a table. 24 years ago, yeah? But the one thing that I'm seeing is that education, because you worked very hard for what you have.
Yes, I have.
Were you on the honor roll?
Was I on the honor roll? No.
Did you go to college?
I did go to college. I went to Southern New Hampshire University.
But you worked hard to have that score that you have.
I did.
See, I'm a firm believer in free education for community college, not like Stanford or like that. I really like in California they had that community college where you only pay a minimal amount for your education. A lot of people can't afford to go to college, And my concern is do we have enough teachers? And what are we paying them?
So
Well, we had a problem with the contract, right?
Anyway, we're going to go back.
we're good as far as the teachers go. So our entry level pay isn't great. It's around 38,000 a year. It's a little bit, but that's too low. But we have a lot of veteran teachers, and on our upper end, our average teacher, our veterans teachers are making around 70,000. That's in about the top third of the state. So it's actually, so our entry level pay is around the half, about the 50%. It's average, not great. We'd like to get it higher. But our veteran teachers, the ones that and probably the majority of our teachers, because we have a lot of teachers that stay here a long time, are making around 70,000 a year, and that is in the top 30% of states. So our upper pay is very competitive. It's good pay. We have approximately 1,100 teachers. We have, last I checked, we have just a little bit under 13,000 students. So let's say 12,900. If you do the math, it's 12,000. So let's say 13,000. It's something like 10 students per teacher. But that will give you a ballpark. It's not that, because the grade schools have different teacher-student ratios, the middle schools and the high schools. But are based on just the raw numbers, the student-teacher ratio is not very bad.
No. Now, one thing, you got a big contract coming up.
Or do I?
You sure do.
So we both have to feed the meter. So he's going to hang out here for a
Okay.
minute. I'm going to run down, feed the
Yeah.
meter, come back, and then he'll do it. I will be right back.
Okay.
Well, I'll just finish up on him then.
Perfect.
You got, you can, would you believe it, what kind of work do you, what kind of a business?
I own a wholesale distribution company.
Okay.
We sell tools to retailers throughout New
I'm
England.
glad.
No
Yeah.
shortage?
Oh, there's been shortages
No,
everywhere.
yeah.
It's a complete
But you got a
disaster.
big contract coming up, and you're gonna win the contract.
Well, that's good.
Do you have a lady salesperson?
I do not.
So you're your own salesperson?
Yes.
Okay. Because I do see you hiring a lady.
Oh, really? Well, I hope it gets to that point then.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna be, if you're, I'm actually looking at gonna be one of the biggest contracts that you've had.
Really?
And you're gonna smile all the way to the bank.
I hope so.
And the government's gonna smile at you too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll pay my
You know.
fair share.
Yeah, because we got support the people who don't want to work, you know. But I do see, and I also see that in the next 2 years you are going to need a lady friend.
Yeah.
Okay, but you are so addicted to work that you're afraid of failure.
I work hard.
Yeah, you're not going to fail, dude.
All right.
Okay, I actually see you own your own house.
I do.
Okay, are you ready to buy another house as an investment?
Yes, but the market's kind of crazy right now. So
Yeah, I would hold off for a couple of years.
yeah, it's going to come back
Making
down.
today is a seller's delight.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. One of my friends whose house she was in Bedford, who just sold her house and I wouldn't have gave for almost $800,000.
Wow.
And I told her she was going to sell her house. She goes, no. That's it. Yeah. I also will tell you that I do believe that you're going to win. It's going to be a close margin. And people will fall instead of just checking off the Republican or checking off the Democrat, like that.
You're taking away all my reading, Norm.
Am I? Sorry about that one. You can come back to that.
Jeez.
You're going to get another reading after it. How's that?
That's fine.
Okay. This is your year. The next 3 years are your years for success financially.
Good.
Okay. Do you communicate with your dad?
Yes.
Okay.
I talk
You're
to him all
close
the
to
time.
him, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. He's a grumpy guy, but he also, you two are very much alike.
He's done very well for himself. I
Right,
respect
but he's
him.
also worked very hard for it, too.
Yes, he is.
And you're close to your mama?
Yep, my mom passed about 4 years ago.
Your mom passed before you. That's why you're close to her still.
Yep.
Okay. Because I got to let you know, she's the one that encouraged, even though she's not there, we communicate, David and I can communicate. She's the one that encouraged you to run for politics.
Good.
She had a mouth, and I don't mean this in the disrespect, this is what she's telling me. If she had an opinion, she wasn't afraid to use it.
No.
Okay.
But she was polite about the way she expressed herself.
Right, but I mean, just don't push her buttons.
Oh, yeah?
And you're the same way.
Yep.
Okay. You have a sister the same way?
No, I have one brother.
One brother?
Yep.
You have a brother, sister-in-law then?
I have a sister-in-law.
Okay,
Yep.
then she's a lot like that.
Yep.
Okay. I do know that you will be doing some traveling with your business, but you're always going to be on top of the school board meetings. You're always going to find a way. I don't see you missing any of them. I also don't see you with cancer. I see you having a long longevity.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Okay, but I'm going to say, like I said, I feel 95% sure that you're going to win. I'll never tell you 100% sure. Any reader that tells you that they're 100% sure, stay away from them.
Yeah.
And
Well, that says you have a
Yeah.
spell on you.
right. But I always tell them, I will never tell you I'm 100% accurate, but I feel strong on this one. You want to take over, Dave?
Well, all right, I could take over. But first, I just want to say what I'm getting, even without the cards. I'm getting, I can see you delving into whether it's books or newspapers, or, like this never-ending desire to get information and reap all this information. I'm also getting, too, that you're you're doing everything by the book. You're doing everything, I think I'm supposed to do it this way, or sort of like the storybook type of path that you're following. All right. I'm also getting that you got all this sort of pent up sort of desire or energy that it's there and you're neglecting it. All right. What I can feel is you got to give that just a little bit of attention. You got to let yourself go.
Yeah. We got a phone. Hang on to those thoughts. Sorry about that. Welcome to North Community Corner. Hello?
Hi, I was wondering if someone could do a reading.
Okay, can you call me back in about 5 minutes?
Sure, of course.
All right, we'll do that. Thank you.
Right.
Because I want you to finish.
All right. So
I've sat on the sidelines for a long time. I need to jump back into the game.
I'm sorry?
really, and I'm not saying to throw caution to the wind, but you got to nurture that part of you instead of keeping it all bottled up, because then it's just gonna have a sort of smother other areas of your life that don't really need, that could flourish and blossom. So, pay attention, give that little piece to yourself, sort of let yourself go, we'll say, on a Friday night for a couple of hours, go wild for 2 or 3 hours. I'm telling you, it'll do you a world of good. And I know, you're keeping yourself so reserved because you got the business and you got the, this campaign going on, and he took away part of my thing. I was getting the same thing. You're going to win. It's going to be by a small margin, but you're going to win, because you know why? You can taste it. But so far for the reading. We'll wait for him to come back, or for her to call.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was, you mentioned about the language barrier, right? I always lived just north of Boston. I've only been living in New Hampshire since the beginning of the year. But anyway, there was one community that I lived in, Malden, but they had a large Asian community, right? But it got to the point where at the high school, they had 7 different dialects of Chinese being spoken, right? So I could never figure out, rather than hire these 7 different dialects of Chinese teachers to teach the kids English, what they would do is they'd hire, in all these 7 different dialects of Chinese, they would hire one just for math, one to teach, one to teach history, another one to teach geography. What a waste of money.
Well, to me, that's doing the child a disservice too, because they need to function in this country.
Exactly. That's
Not every company's got an interpreter for them to, they need.
Right. And the other thing, when I grew up down that area, but when I was in school, they taught us the Constitution. I mean, why did that go, the way of the wind?
I know New Hampshire has a state law about civics education. I thought the Constitution might be mixed in there. I'm not sure. But I caught the tail end of your language thing, and just wanted to say, I think the Manchester School District actually does mostly a pretty good job on education, language, and here's why. So my wife's from South America, from Brazil. Mm-hmm. When my nephew was 10 years old, he came to live with us, about 5th grade. They sent him, so he didn't really speak any English, so he came in August. Mm-hmm. He was sent to the Beach Street School, which is probably the primary English as a second language grade school in Manchester, I believe. At least it was back then. They did such a good job. He had English immersion. By Christmas, I could have a conversation. So when he came in August, I couldn't really talk to him because my Portuguese is kind of bad. We have simple conversations.
Bom dia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know it. You got it. And but by Christmas, so just 4 months later, we were having some okay conversation. He wasn't talking about rocket science or brain surgery, but he was having decent conversations with me in just 4 months. So I have to say the Manchester School District does a pretty good job with English language training.
Okay, caller, if you're ready to call us back, well, you want me to read it here? We got two people that want reading.
I'm gonna go tackle that meeting.
Oh, yeah, you better go.
Okay, so Brian, give me a call, or whoever's calling, give us a call back. One of the things with Ross, I do see you winning.
Thank you.
Okay, I know.
I hope so.
And it's
Me
gonna
and
be
Brian are
90
working hard. Oh, my God.
98%.
Excellent.
Who are
Brian,
you running against?
Mary Heath.
Who's that?
She's a state rep. Do you know Kathy Sullivan?
Yeah.
It's Kathy Sullivan's sister.
Oh, that, okay, yeah. I want to know. See, I always have a problem when people, okay. Welcome to Norm's Community Corner.
Hi, Norm. I
Hi.
was wondering if somebody could do a reading on me. Life's kind of up in the air right now.
Oh, yeah, you got a lot of confusion in your life right now, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, what I want you to do is not over, you're going to pick up that's what I say, not overreact to it, take your time, because everything to you is important,
Yes, it is.
okay? And I'm going to tell you that I don't see you having a nervous breakdown. Health-wise, I see a lot of improvement coming to you.
Yes, there actually has been, so
Now,
that's good.
and you got a lot, but you need to take vitamin B12,
Okay.
okay? And you
That
got,
sounds like something that has been told to me before.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, my doctor yelled at me because I didn't take B12. You know? But I think B12 is one of the most, do you agree, the most influential vitamins you can buy?
B and C, yeah.
B and C. I don't see you having COVID.
No.
Okay. One thing about you is you're just going to leave the chocolate bonbons alone, darling.
Oh my God! Thank you. No, I don't.
And they're so good, aren't they?
She won't leave him alone?
I haven't had one of those in years.
Well, don't even try to sample because you will get dizzy.
Yes, I would. Yes.
Okay.
It would.
You're a borderline diabetic, and I want to see that improving.
Oh, it has. I've dropped my blood sugar from. I'm sure you're familiar with the A1C,
Yep.
the test for the 3-month period.
Yep.
I've dropped it from 13 to 6.5.
Oh, that's excellent.
That's very
Wow,
good.
wow.
We actually have a pharmacist sitting right here beside us, so. Okay.
That's excellent.
Oh,
Okay. I also will see. Do you want to move from the area where you're living?
from. Yes.
Could I
I'm from
actually?
Manchester.
Yeah. Could I actually see you moving in about between 6 months and a year?
We're very happy about that.
Okay.
We live downtown, and
Scary.
nice to
Downtown
find a
is
different
scary,
apartment.
isn't it?
Like Petula Clock
Yes,
song,
it is.
downtown.
Oh, I love that. Downtown. You know, but I do see you moving, and I do see you moving not out of Manchester, but into like maybe on the west side to another quiet area.
Yes, that's what we're looking for,
Right.
something like that.
And I want you to not be afraid to accept housing from the government if you can get it.
Yeah, I keep kind of backing off for applying because they say it takes, 2-3 years?
How about 12 years?
12 years?
Yep, that's what I waited.
But that's what they say, but
Yeah.
get this, I know somebody who applied, I'm gonna say maybe in February
Yeah.
or March, they got it
Yeah,
already.
Wow.
but I want the one thing I want you to do, and I really want you to apply anyways.
Okay.
You deserve, you're a hard worker, and you have a husband?
Yes, I do.
Stop picking on him.
I can't help it. It's too much fun.
And he would, if you didn't pick on your husband, he would think that you didn't feel well. Am I correct?
I think so. I think so.
You've been
yes.
married. You've been married quite a while.
26 years.
It's a
That's
while.
a long time today. My longest marriage was 14. My shortest marriage was a month.
Oh my
try.
goodness.
But one thing I do see that if you like, who drives?
Neither one of us. That's the problem.
Okay.
That's why we need to be in the city.
Right,
So
okay.
stick downtown.
Right. But there's a bus there that I can see you The bus, I got to pay Manchester credit. The bus transportation here is fabulous. They're friendly.
Yes, it is.
And the buses are always clean. Even though I might
Yeah.
want to take one of the bus drivers and throw them on the ground just for the heck of it. But the one thing that
Yeah, I agree with you on that for sure.
but I
Been
also,
here a long time, and the bus drivers have definitely changed.
actually, I really have to compliment. I love taking the bus every once in a while. I feel
I do
like,
too.
yeah, I haven't done it until I moved to the west side. Boy, do I feel like I'm the king of the bus when I get on that bus. That people are so respectful, But I also will tell you that I am concerned about your husband's heart.
Okay.
Okay, is he a little bit overweight?
Maybe just a little.
Okay, but he's got to become more active.
Well, the job he does is very active.
Okay. But
Very active.
Yeah, but I mean, like
But
walking.
yeah, I mean, it's for the both of us too. I know
Yeah.
we both should. I mean, I'm joining the gym, so.
Right, good for you. And you know what? When you join the gym, you're going to lose some weight that you want to lose. You're going to feel. I'm not going to tell you that you're 100% better, but you also have arthritis.
I'm pretty sure of that. Yes.
I'm looking at it in your hands, and I'm also looking at it in your hip bones.
Yes. Yes.
What I would encourage you to do is go and find some young stud there, honey, and get a deep body massage.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Make sure he's young, like in his 30s, and make you feel young again. I'm not getting on that, but. And I also know you have a nice sense of humor with people, unless you're upset. When you're upset, I'm running away.
No, that's true. I am kind of scary when I get mad.
But you don't get mad. When you do, you don't last a long time, does it?
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
I can honestly tell you, when your husband knows, because you start slamming your dishes on, like your pots and pans, you're not bashful about slamming them on the table.
No.
Honey, when you get really mad, you can have a vile mouth.
Well, I'm half Irish. What can I say?
Hey, good man, good lady. But financially, I really don't see a lot of problems there. You're going to be okay. But I really would like to see it. We're not going to hope. We're going to know. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Health-wise, I see a lot more improvement coming to you, and with your husband as well.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
I'm going to turn you over to my friend Dave. He's also going to give you a reading.
Okay.
So you get two
I
for the price of
appreciate that.
one.
All right, so mine are sort of different areas. First, I'm going to say, who's ever with the peanut butter, cut down on the peanut butter. I can.
Okay. I just bought some today. I absolutely love honey peanut butter.
No.
Okay. I'll stay away from that.
Lower your numbers even more. But, when you called, you said you had a lot of confusion going on.
Yes.
I'm just feeling a little confusion. To me, what I'm feeling with the confusion is it's not really confusion. It's you sort of wanting rapid fire answers, and it's just not going to come that way. So it's not really confusion. You got to sort of take a step back, take in some nice deep breaths, and focus. And it's real. I'm not getting. There's a lot of issues there that are supposedly causing quote unquote confusion. It's sort them out, compartmentalize them. It's no confusion. You'll come up with the answers a lot sooner than you think. So.
Okay. I think that's probably it.
She blows everything way out of proportion. She really does. By the way, did your mom pass?
Huh?
Did your mother pass over?
Yes, she did.
I have to tell you, may I give you a message from her?
Sure.
Okay. I got to tell you, she is feeling better, and she wants you to know how much she loves you. She's also, there's no pain with her. She is around, she liked flowers, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Because there's a lot of blue and yellow flowers around. Can you see the thing? Because I'm looking at a lot of blue and yellow flowers there.
Yes.
But when she had your temper, did she not? She had quite the temper when she wanted to.
Yes.
She was a disciplinarian. She was the boss of the house.
Actually, yes, that is very true. She was.
Right. But I
My
gotta
father liked to think he was, but
Yeah.
no.
women like to let us think we are, but women, you know. But one of the things I'm seeing as well is that you're going to be around until you're like 90 years old.
I wish I could believe that.
I'll tell you what,
Right.
I'll believe it for you.
Okay.
Because what's happening is you're overcoming a lot of your sicknesses that you have, and you're not listening. You're doing your own. I would often tell you, follow more of your natural healings than so much of the medication part.
Right.
Okay? I don't see you with cancer. You've been able to avoid that.
Well, I hope that stays that way. Unfortunately, I smoke, so.
You know what? Smoking, I'm not going to, I'm tired. I smoked for, and I've been not smoking for 8 years, okay? And I still got breast cancer. And I blame my cell phone. I really do. Because.
No, that's true. From what I've heard, it depends if you're born with the genes for cancer.
Right, that's what I'm actually a believer on that. Because my whole family all died of cancer. But I had a miracle happen with God. I went to the Hitchcock Clinic, and then I went to Dr. Petrol, then I went to the Elliott Daycare Surgery, and within an hour and a half to 3 hours, I'm cancer-free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You have to believe in the miracles. And one thing about you is, you really strongly believe in your angels, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, don't ever give up on them. You're also very strong psychically.
Oh.
Don't be
I didn't know that.
Don't be afraid of the premonitions that you see.
Okay.
What do you think on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you, Dave. You got any more to tell her?
No,
All right, okay. Give me a call in a couple of weeks. Let me know how you do with your sugar. No peanut butter with honey.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye now.
Darn it.
Yeah. Darn it.
Thank you.
Can you do the cards on me, Dave?
Huh?
Sure, I'll do the cards for you.
Yeah.
Get your energy all over them.
Energy. We're doing energy. You find it interesting, Brian? That we
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. I'm
That's
enjoying
what
this.
I like.
Pick anywhere from 3 to 5 cards when you're done, whenever you feel right.
I don't know
And
if you can count that high.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm trying to be thorough.
Oh, by the way, how's my favorite little girl doing?
She's doing excellent. The only thing is she's very afraid of COVID, so
Right.
even though she's been vaccinated, she likes to stay home. It's unfortunate because before she liked to go out, but now with COVID, she's afraid of getting it.
He has the most
And
beautiful girl.
My daughter has Down syndrome.
I met him.
And Brian's been over the house.
Isn't she beautiful?
She is. Was there for her birthday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I wasn't invited.
You missed out on the
She's
cake.
been on my show.
Yeah, she was on. Yeah, years ago she was.
Very intelligent.
She wants to be the. She wants to be a celebrity, but she already is.
She's a queen bee. Oh, here we go. Welcome to Norm's Community Corner.
Good afternoon, guys.
Hey, Mary, how you
Mary.
doing?
Oh, Mary.
Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Good. How's everybody doing?
We're all doing quite well. You know.
Good.
How are you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm a doctor after doctor.
Yeah.
I just come back the other day for my eyes, and they want me to go into Boston for my eyes.
Uh-huh.
And I says, no, I'm not going to Boston.
No. They can do it here. Yeah. You know. By the way, you had a good show last
the
week.
doctor I did have, she's going to Maine. I can go to Maine and have her. I'm not going to Maine either.
No.
Mary LeMay.
So it's going to be done right here in Manchester.
Yeah. You had a good show last week, Mary.
Oh, thank you.
You want to tell everybody who this is?
Yeah, I'm cruising with Mary. I'm on at 5 o'clock, same channel as Mom, channel 23, and of course we are live TV, and we're live on Facebook.
Yeah. And yours it didn't come in. It didn't come in on my Facebook.
Huh?
Your show did not come in on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. Mary and I, we have
Because
trouble with Facebook
my
in each
phone
other.
is not working half the time
Yeah.
to go get in there on
Yeah,
Facebook with it.
Yeah, you know. But the one, yeah. So how was my favorite kitty doing? She has a kitty named Crystal.
Crystal is doing, in fact, she's looking at me now. She's on the floor. She just got done eating some of her snacks
Uh-huh.
and everything. So she's about ready to come over here and sit down next to me.
Crystal likes a barbecued chicken from the Market Basket.
Really?
I do too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like their rotisserie chickens. Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love
And
the
we go
rotisserie.
and Mary brought some home. Mary had. Oh no, the Crystal opened it up, right, Mary?
Yeah, Crystal opened it up. I had put it on the table, and of course I got my chairs there.
Yeah.
And the phone rang, and I answered the phone, and when I come back, Crystal's eating the chicken. But she never touched the wrapping at all. She went right around the wrapping and eating the chicken. I tried to take the chicken away from her. She put a paw on and started to growl like a chicken.
You have to come over and meet my new Mr. Shadow. We have a new cat called Mr. Shadow.
Oh, I have.
I know, that's terrific.
Yeah. And one of the things that I am doing, your mother told me to say that she's very proud of you having your own TV show.
Yeah, she would be, let me tell you. I think she'd be one of my co-hosts.
Oh, yeah.
If she was
Oh,
alive.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Boy,
Yeah,
she'd
and I
be
think
telling.
Daddy would too.
Yeah.
I think both of them would have been my co-hosts.
Mary was my bodyguard way back when. I said
I know, he started the trouble and I had to end it.
well, I didn't want to ruin my nails, you know. But that was a good. We had fun then back in them days, didn't we, Mary?
We sure did.
We didn't have to worry about somebody getting shot or, you know.
No, that's
like that.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
And I weighed a lot less back then.
Yeah. Yeah. She was a little. Yeah. I was a little
I
bigger
weighed
one.
about
but she-
98 pounds back then.
Yeah, but nobody messed with my friend Mary, because I told him once said, stay away from that. So, Mary, who you got coming on next week? This week.
This week, I'm not sure they're going to let me know. But next week, of course, is Halloween week.
Yeah.
So next week is going to be the big party, the big Halloween party next week.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got Sarah Beaudry coming
and
on next
popping
week.
to say hi.
Yeah.
In town.
Hey, if you got time before the 2nd of November for the election.
November 2nd.
They two gentlemen would be honored to be on your show. She doesn't know I put about it.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm not prejudiced.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome. I don't care if you're Republican, Independent, Democrat, which I am a Democrat, and everybody is welcome.
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But I also you're getting you're getting a call from one of your nephews here, and you're going to be going to his wife is not doing well.
Yeah, I know she's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did a memorial service for her one of her nieces, you know. But I also I do see you getting your Cadillac. It won't be a red one, but I do see you getting your Cadillac.
Yeah, I would love to go back to a Cadillac. I really enjoyed my red one I had for years.
Yeah.
But in time, I want to go back to a Cadillac. I maybe won't. It probably won't be a brand new one. I don't want a brand new one. But in time, I do want a Cadillac.
I know.
I enjoyed my Cadillac.
A hybrid, Mary. It's going to have to be a hybrid.
There you go. Mary is a former truck driver.
No.
Mary used to be a former truck driver.
You know, I don't even think they have any
seen an
charging
incident
stations downtown, do they? I never
Yeah,
see
no.
No.
No, I
Come
don't
downtown.
want a hybrid at
I-
all.
I'm
Give
just-
me my gas.
I'm just being facetious, Mary.
But the one thing that Mary, I actually look at your health
Especially
improvement.
in a condo where I live, there's
What?
no place to plug it in.
Right, that's true. There isn't.
But I actually see a lot more improvement coming in your health.
It's getting there, let me tell you, a little slowly, but I'm getting there.
Yes,
that's
you
for
are.
Sure.
Because you have that positive attitude.
Yep,
Okay.
yep,
Yeah.
I sure do.
Well, I got to let you go, and we'll give you a call
right.
later, all right? Bye-bye, hon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. She's a spin-off of my show,
Oh, yeah.
Mary. I have about 17 people that have spin-offs off of my show.
Wow.
They
Really?
don't last long, but that's okay.
How long have you been doing it?
23 years?
Wow.
It's a long time.
Love every minute of it. The first time I started doing it, oh my God, we look like a zombie.
Yeah.
And the coloring did not coordinate, but I've been having fun ever since.
Good.
And I recommend anybody, like if you could have me in school, I recommend everybody that if they have a voice, to don't be afraid to come to Channel 23 in Manchester, New Hampshire, and come and express how you feel. Just don't slam somebody in a bad way. Oh, I do slam, but just do it in a nice way. Okay, you got his cards there?
I do. So this is the way he gave them to me. So I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them from the top, work the way down. I read the cards different than him. I just read the cards. I don't ask any questions. I just keep going along.
Sounds good.
So that's
Yeah, we have
that's
to put
what
a
we'll
ready
do.
battery in him.
Right. I know. So right away. All right. We have the Four of Swords.
Hold up close.
All right. So what it is you have, I'm going to say, a few obviously major things on your mind. You know, like you had said it before, you have to juggle this, you have to juggle that, try to find the even keel. What you want to keep in mind, though, is you know, instead of sort of thinking about having to do this and trying to even out that, you know, don't even think about it. Just, you know, your mind and your body will take care of it all. It will go all as it's supposed to
Just
go
do it.
along. Well, right, exactly. As the old saying goes, just do it. So, you know, don't waste the energy on sort of contemplating or, you know, what if.
Can you tell them we'll call them right. I haven't called them back in about 5 minutes. No. Hang on a minute.
All right.
Sorry about that. Hello, welcome to North Community Corner.
They're gone.
Okay.
They're
Call us
gone.
back in about 5 minutes, folks.
All right, so we'll go back to this just before we continue on to the second card. So, you know, sort of even with these few issues, all right, find your inner peace and try to stick more with your inner peace. And
But
it'll
it's
go
with the Democrat.
What?
She said my wife's a Democrat.
But that's all right.
Yeah.
We
That's
get along
all
pretty
right.
well.
This is about him now. So all right. So can we come up with the devil next? So here's the Democrat here. All right. No, he said it. So all what this is doing, again, it sort of can relate to here, the things that are going on that, you know, you're trying to find even keel with and an even balance and that type of thing. This is just, again, showing you, it's reinforcing this card. It's, you know, to let go of that sort of self-limiting thought process and, you know, thinking that, you know, I can only do this much or I can only do that much. You know, again, as you could see, right, break the chain right there. Break the chain. Let yourself go a little. You know, and sort of, I'm going to also say, too, there's somebody that is going to try and give you info. I'd really take it with a grain of salt. They're going to sound convincing, but they have ulterior motives. You know, they'll be manipulative and charming. So just pay, you know, attention to that. But like I said, these are all got to do with you. Break that chain and, you know, get rid of the self-limitation or, you know, look outside the box. Get yourself outside of that little circle that, you know, that you're in. And this even proves it now. It's even easier to do. Now, what do you have? It's the strength card, and you have the eternal symbol up there. Everything just keeps flowing and flowing. Again, it's not attached to anything. It's just going to go in its course. So, right? And you got the strength to go along with it. And as you can see in the card, to me, it's a lion. You can tackle anything. You have the power. You have the strength. You got all the forces around you to overcome it all. So keep going with it. You can't go wrong here. And then again, the Page of Wands. Wands is, you know, your ambition, your focus, you know, a direction that you want to take. All right. So we only have one, as you can see, it's one wand. So, all right. So again, win the election, hands down. All right.
Excellent.
Filled with vim and vigor. You got the energy again. a page of sort of, shall we say, someone young at heart that's got all this extra pent-up energy that they can expand for what they want. But in this case, it's only one area. It's so, right? And we know, well, I'm going to say the one area is, winning the election, which you will, but just keep focused on it. Remember these, and you're going to do absolutely fine. And then, look at what we end up with. 8 of Pentacles, all right? Pentacles is work. It's effort that you expel. And so, here we are. There you are after the election. You're still working, and you got, look at the fantastic job I did. And there you are. You're still there. So, again, all you have to do is remember this. Don't limit yourself with this or this stuff. And I'm telling you, there you are at the end. All your hard work's going to pay off, and you're going to, sort of, we'll put it in a low-key way of bragging rights.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
You're welcome.
One thing I will tell you on that is you don't look for that pat on the back.
No, I
You
don't
know
care.
you're doing good, okay? Okay. Welcome to North Community Corner.
Hello?
How do you get them up?
Hello.
Hey, how we doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am doing very well. How can we help you, sir?
Well, how you doing, Norm? This is Brian.
Yeah, I know.
And I've been active in the chat, and I'm just curious. I didn't catch the show early enough to ascertain where the other gentleman is from. I know the one closest to you is a potential school board.
No, the one on the farthest is
Seeking
the
school
school board.
board seat. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the one on the farthest with your hand. Okay? And then we got the great honorable. Here's I said honorable. Well, that's questionable, though. But,
Questionable. That use questionable.
Wrong. And then, of course, we had
it
Dick.
depends
But
on
Brian,
what your definition of honorable is.
yeah.
But in any case, I was hoping for a reading first and foremost, but
Right.
also I'd love to discuss the Prussian education system or the
that's
Constitution or anything these people want to discuss.
Okay, let me give you a.
You know,
okay,
as
one
far
of the
as
things
politics
that
is concerned.
one of the things that you have to do is stop doubting yourself, because when you're doubting yourself, you're using the issues that you have that I guess other people don't do that. Look into your own mirror and look and say who you are. Brian, you're an intelligent young man, okay, and you have a right to have your own vocal self, but just don't stop hurting yourself when you're vocalizing about your opinions. Okay.
When others vocalize their opinion, should not one respond and?
Oh no,
voice their
respond, but do it.
opinion?
But you know what? It's more fun to insult them in a nice way, and they don't know that they're being insulted.
Oh no, I don't want to insult anybody. I want to educate people. The revolution has to be educational.
Right.
There's no doubt about that, and I'm sure the gentleman who's seeking a school board seat would agree with me. That any kind of revolution or changing of the guard, so to speak, would have to be educational.
It's going to have to change.
So,
a lot has to change.
I educate people. If you share an opinion, I share my opinion, and then you're either going to avoid cognitive dissonance and, not pay attention to the materials provided, or you're just going to, read them and evaluate them and maybe disagree or maybe agree. It depends on how open your mind is.
I always do my due diligence.
But
Brian, I got a question for you. What revolution are you talking about? You mentioned a revolution.
It's an intellectual revolution.
Okay. Yeah,
Where
I
the
gotta
state
tell you.
no longer exists.
And
The
actually-
state is essentially the mafia masquerading as a human rights organization.
Right.
Ask him about the Prussian education system.
Go ahead. Ask.
Prussian. Brian,
Yeah,
what was?
let's talk about that. Do we even understand that? That's what's a little
I know
disconcerting to me,
very
is
little
the fact
about that.
A gentleman who's running for a seat on a school board has no idea what the Prussian education system is.
I don't think it's big in America, but so why don't you explain it to us?
Well, it is big in America. It was brought here in the mid-19th century by Horace Mann to Massachusetts, and it's spread throughout the country. It's the Bell model. It's almost a Pavlovian type system where we were to create. The Prussians created it initially they had this really big problem, right, where their soldiers would like piss themselves or they'd run away and they wouldn't fight wars for their monarchy, right? So they instituted this Prussian model of education, which created this false sense of patriotism. That's the same way you get the Pledge of Allegiance and all this other nonsense, and praying to the sky cloth for the magic powers that it gives. All these other nonsensical things that Americans believe in have been indoctrinated for 12 years to believe. That's the Prussian model. That's where school, which is the original name, school, German, that's where it comes from. School, Horace Mann, mid-19th century. And it's a little, again, if you're running for school board, it's a little disconcerting that you don't know what the Prussian model is.
I mean, that would be more of an education history.
Somebody else have to educate you on that. Who's not running for an office.
I never even heard of it.
I've heard of it a long time ago. I just don't think, I don't know.
Well, and here's my secondary question to follow that up.
Sure.
How does one delegate rights that they themselves do not have, either individually or in a group?
Delegate rights.
So to put you on a school board, right, where you're in charge of making decisions for, let's say, how many students do you have in the New Hampshire school system?
Not now. I had three. So I had three kids that go.
You don't know the answer to that question either.
No. Hold on.
You don't know how many children are in the New Hampshire school system that you'd be representing.
Oh no, I thought you said how many kids I had. No. In the Manchester school system, approximately 12,900 students.
Just a little under 13,000.
12,900 in
Approximately.
Manchester.
Approximately.
All right, Manch Vegas. Am I allowed to call it that?
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Half the people I have never even heard of
a little bit of levity. Anyway, it's a little disconcerting, that you don't know what that model is, and that
to you it's
you're seeking a seat of power where you're able to dictate, things to parents and to students that otherwise you would have no right to do. If I went along and did your, supposed the elected quote unquote position that you're seeking, right? If I sought that position, right, and did that on my own without, the goofy rituals and voodoo that's involved with this current system, with political authority being legitimate, which it's not, I would be thrown in a cage by enforcers of the state.
So just to clarify a few things.
I just wonder how you think you can delegate a right to somebody else that you do not yourself have, in a group or individually.
So just to clarify something, I'm actually the alderman, and I'm running. I'm running for alderman, so I'm not running for the school board. But just to clarify.
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay. But the Manchester School Board, the main job of the Manchester School Board, a member on the Manchester School Board, is policy. So what they have is, for instance, the administrators and the teachers. They actually, do the job of educating and do that. But the Manchester School District.
Are they educating or indoctrinating?
I like to believe that they're educating. My three kids.
That's a nice thing to believe, but I mean, what's the reality of the situation?
So my three kids went through the Manchester school system. I'm happy with their education that they received.
You sure? Why? Because they faithfully bow down to the empire?
No.
You know what? We're going to let you go.
All right. So
an angry.
Well, he has a very strong opinions.
Wow.
But what I would say, and I'm going to bring it back to my own kids, I So my oldest daughter, very smart girl, my middle daughter, worked hard. She's valedictorian. She went to Dartmouth. She's now on her way. She's going to be going to medical school. And she's a product of the Manchester School District. So when people say, you can get a good education in the Manchester School District, she's very well versed in math and science and English. She tutored kids in how to write English papers at Dartmouth. They actually recognized her English writing ability, and she would tutor kids on their English writing. But now she got a job at Harvard Medical School doing medical research, and now she's been applying to medical school, and she's gotten 8 or 9 interviews, which is the second step. So first you apply, and then they say, hey, we like your application. We want an interview. If you get an interview, you can apply anywhere, but if you got the request for an interview, that's a very good sign that you're going to get in. But she's gotten, so she's a hard worker. She's smart, and I'm proud of her. But she did her whole education through the Manchester Schools District, and she got a good education. She's done a great job. Now, my oldest daughter, who has Down syndrome, I love my daughter, but I didn't know much about Down syndrome when she was born. I was like, she's not going to get, she's not going to be able to get educated. I didn't have any idea what was going to happen. But she went through a special ed with the Manchester School District. She makes YouTube videos. She has a YouTube channel. She's a whiz with all the apps on her phone. She does art. She can use pretty much any app on her phone. She makes videos. Her ability to do things. And again, I was ignorant is on what somebody with Down syndrome is capable of. You've met her. She's just has a beautiful spirit. She loves everybody. She makes people feel comfortable. She just has a really nice. People just gravitate to her because of her positive energy. But she's been able, through the school district, she's learned to do so many things that just blow me away with, like with computers, with her phone. She's really educated me on what people with other abilities are capable of.
See, that's why I don't believe in disabilities unless they're in a wheelchair. Yeah. I really don't, because I believe everybody can improve. My granddaughter, who we almost lost to suicide several years ago because of the way she was being treated in the middle school, and the teacher got fired of it. But there again, she graduated Central High School on the honor roll.
Nice.
They told her that she wasn't going to do it because she was lazy, and you know what? She got it all up to A's, and now she's studying to be a nurse, surgical nurse or a surgeon technician. She's a pharmacist technician. She's an animal vet technician. Wow. She doesn't know, and she and her husband or boyfriend had bought a house, and I have to agree with you. Manchester does, if people will let the teacher teach the way they should be, like the reading, writing, and arithmetic. I don't believe in teaching, you're going to be transgender, or you're going to be gay or lesbian. I'm sorry, that has nothing to do with the education,
I think with like my daughter, and I think one of the goals of education is to be able to lead somebody to unlock their potential so that they realize what they're capable of, which is what happened with my oldest daughter, who, I could see a school district or maybe a teacher, a special ed program. They said, she has Down syndrome. She's not capable of anything. But yet they were able to, they did a wonderful job. For instance, Mr. Taney was one of her teachers. They just did a wonderful job with her.
When I went to the state school many, many, many years ago, of course, older than you are, but that's okay, back in the 60s, Down syndrome, we used to call it mentally retarded or feeble-minded was the famous word. And the one thing that I have to say in Manchester, they have probably one of the biggest educational theories. They're awesome, okay? Do I believe in group homes? No. Do I think they should have closed the state school? No. Because when you're sending them with the war centers making millions and millions of dollars, But I because they're all in different group homes and all that, but they were happy in there. They had a prom night like they did for the kids. They had a pool that you and I would have loved to have back in high school. They had and the clients were treated with respect. Now the sad part is the city, and I'm not blaming education, I'm blaming a lot of people. If they're mentally challenged, stay away from, they still had that stigma. They really do, and you know, and that's like I always said when I was growing up. Had my mother been illegally allowed to have an abortion because I had no skin here and I was kind of, really small, I often wondered when my mother had aborted me. So I guess I'm pretty that. But I think education. Do we need to improve our education system? Oh, absolutely. And I think with people like Brian Cole. By the way, folks, Brian Cole, that's 6.
Oh, what?
Ward 7.
Ward 7.
Ward 7. Oh, you know.
Both in Ward 7.
I'll change that when I get home.
Close.
But no cigar today. But Brian Cole is running for school board.
Correct.
Okay, and he's a newbie in it. Folks, let's get him the support that he needs. Then we got the Honorable Ross Terrio. This is your second term?
So I'm just finishing up my first term as alderman, and hopefully I'll get reelected.
We're not going to hope, are we?
We're going to believe.
Okay.
It's in the cards.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
And I think we lose. You'll call us every name in the book.
Right.
Brian and I are working as a team. We're working hard. We are gonna. Our goal is to knock on every door that we can knock on. I mean, you go to an apartment building, you can't get in, you can't knock. But if there's a door that we can physically get to, we knock on it.
This last
How
week.
were you received?
Mostly good, except for the guy from last week. One guy really ripped into me.
Yeah, he was not.
You don't represent me. You're a bad person. I'm never going to vote for you. I'll help you lose. And I said, okay. He was very angry.
Like this guy was on the
even angrier, and he was kind of short, so maybe he had a Napoleon complex. But he was very angry with me. He was very unhappy with me. A lot of his things were wrong. He'd say this. I said, well, that's incorrect. I said, well, no, that's not the way it was. But I thanked him for it. I was glad that at least he was honest with me. I said, thank you for being honest, and I appreciate that. But here's the thing, and Brian's going to learn this. You have to have thick skin. People are going to criticize you. People are going to be angry with you for things, over little things. Like, for instance, we had a woman, there was a vehicle that had to be moved. They moved it, but then I never heard back from them again, and then the vehicle went back there and just parked there. And she was mad at me. She's like, we complained to you about this vehicle, and the vehicle's there again. I was like, but initially, I had the police and the parking department go over there, and he moved, and then I never heard back from them again. So it was moved, and then the vehicle went later. The vehicle went back to where it was previously and just left there, but I didn't know it, and so they were mad at me because although initially it was taken care of, I was like, you got to tell me. You got to tell me these things. But and people are angry, and as long as I think you do your best and you be honest and if you make a mistake, apologize. I mean, I don't think I did anything wrong in this case, but he was just very angry with me, but for the most part, I've been doing this for many years. I've knocked on thousands and thousands and thousands of doors, and I can actually count on there's 3 people that got so angry, just kind of attacked me. He actually, I should have warned him. One of the women that attacked me attacked him, and I was like, oh, I forgot to tell you about her. She just really ripped. My!
You know what?
It was a booby trap.
You're for rich people, and you don't care about poor people. And it was funny. She had 3 brand new Toyotas and a nice boat in her driveway. She had $100,000 of vehicles. And I'm driving a 20-year-old minivan, and she wasn't a bad person, just very strongly opinionated. But she was telling me that I'm for the rich, and she had like $100,000 of vehicles in her driveway. I was like, I have a $2,000 20-year-old minivan. But anyways, that's fine. And then I did have one other guy. Actually, I'll tell you a funny story. He ripped into me too. Oh my gosh! So I went to his. Okay, go ahead.
Welcome to North Community Corner.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing fine. How are you?
Good.
What?
I am Ross' wife.
Oh,
how are you?
Oh, it's Glacia.
Didn't
It's
even
my
know.
wife. Wait.
Big trouble.
Wait a minute, Glacia.
That he forgot to say it. Worse than be a Democrat wife, it's to be a Republican, is to have a Republican husband.
Oh,
That's
shucks.
much worse.
Glacia, do you want to read it?
Now let her talk.
She loves your show.
That's good. One thing, I like it because you have different political point of views.
Yes, we do.
And he doesn't,
Big
he says he wants you to stop eating so many bonbons.
Okay, just tell him thanks not just to the school district, but thanks to his wife, he has wonderful kids.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's because you guys did a great job. Yeah. Who was the disciplinarian there? Who was the strictest?
Who's more restricted in my house?
Yeah.
I think both of us.
Right.
Actually.
But I was always working. She was home, so I mean, I'll admit she did 90% of the child rearing.
Well, look at that came out okay.
Yeah, they came out good.
You know, and I'm a firm. You know, the one thing that I will say with Mr. Honorable Gary Hopper, who I put peace through the pocket every once in a while, will say a family that works together and they have children. In all honesty, the children are more likely to succeed.
Yes, but one more thing about the school I would like to say. I'm very proud what the school helped me with my daughter, but parents should know that they should also follow up with the school. Like Jordana went Down syndrome. If she did something wrong, I would bring her back there. I wouldn't let her get away with anything at school. And I think that's make a big difference.
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
It doesn't matter if they, special needs or not. There is a big difference between, learning to be a nice person and learning to read and write. So teaching them to be a good person and to respect others, it begins at home, not just at school.
By the way, she's going back to Brazil for a visit.
Yeah, she is.
She's going very shortly.
Lucasia,
Yes?
can you do a reading on
Are
it?
you ready to go back to school? Are you ready to go to visit Brazil?
Oh, I need to go see my mother soon.
Yeah. Now, I want to probably do an ASAP. I don't think your mother's in that good of help.
No, she's not.
Okay. And the one thing that I'm going to do a couple more things. When you talk about parents need to know that their children can do wrong. My oldest stepson, I always felt, no, they'll never do anything wrong. He ended up costing me $65,000 trying to keep him out of jail.
Wow.
So don't tell me they don't do wrong, I had to learn the hard way. But I also will tell you, did her dad pass? Okay.
Yes.
Because your dad is actually I want you to know, is very proud of you and what you have accomplished.
Oh, thank you. It's so good to hear about that, you know.
We named our
because
son.
my dad was an amazing father. He was very strict, but an amazing father.
Your son is a lot like him, isn't he?
We named our son after him, yeah.
Yes.
We spun his name. His name was Edwin
I
Anthony.
see my son
And we
every
spun it
day,
out,
and I just
Anthony
think
Edwin.
of my father.
Is your
I'm
son
very
mechanically
proud of
inclined?
him.
And so I don't see this.
He bought an old car and fixed it up. He just ripped it apart and he's very mechanically inclined.
And I don't see him being comfortable with a four-year college.
He's doing a 2-year
He's
college
not.
right now for computers, but he likes to work. Yeah, he bought an old junky car, and he fixed it up nicely.
Did you help him?
No, he did it all himself. I was mad at him because it was a piece of junk, and I was like, "Why did you buy
Somebody
this?"
that's looking for mechanics. You
Yeah.
can't find a
But
mechanic.
he's a natural.
And
He
fixed
has
it
so
up.
much.
It runs.
He has so
My
much.
father was just like him.
Yes.
Everything he wants to fix or do or make it up, he would do it by himself. And my father hardly
1915
had
he was
any
born. He died a
education.
while-
He
a long
didn't
time
even
ago.
have first grade.
I actually look at him building before he's 18 or 19, building a house.
Oh no! My son's just turned 20.
20. Okay. I actually look at your son building a house, and he's going to do it from rock bottom. He's not going to. He's stubborn like his father. Isn't
He is stubborn, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yes.
he'll let you help him build the house.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I actually see him.
He's a gift from God. He's an amazing
He's actually going to do a lot of traveling.
boy, and amazing. I'm very proud of him.
Why do I see him in the military or working for the military?
I don't know.
Oh,
I was in the
no,
military, and I
no.
told him, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to join the military." My wife doesn't like the military, but
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Well, I'm sorry about that. Then he's going to work in the government for the military.
Hopefully.
Okay. And one thing about him, I have to tell you, because of the values that you taught him, he is going to be very, very successful. I don't see him going into the political field, But I see your daughter, your daughter that's going in the medical field. I actually see her going into the political field. Okay.
Nice.
I also will tell you, your 20-year-old, he's going to be moving quite a ways away.
Uh-oh.
Mama, you got to cut the apron strings.
I can't.
I actually look at him not more down towards the southern area, down towards the Georgia area, and all that. And
Hey, my brother lives in Georgia.
and the one thing I see with him, he cannot marry anybody without your approval. Not so much his dad, but Mama's approval.
It's perfect. I think all my kids, it's like that. They all need my approval, not Dad's approval. They all come and talk to Mama. Everything, it's Mama. It's
Isn't that cool?
All of them.
She's a social worker now, right?
She does, the social, yep.
You
social.
like your new job, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You're actually going to get a master's and a PhD in social work.
Oh, that would be perfect.
You're not.
When I went to college, I wanted to do psychology, but my husband didn't think was a good idea.
Well, I'm
so
going
I
to tell
ended
you
up
should.
becoming an engineer.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you should go and get your college degree in psychology.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
I'm going to dispute your husband on
She
that.
has a bachelor's in engineering right now, though.
Yeah. When but
She's really good at math.
Yeah.
She's very good at math.
Yeah, she had to earn. You two really love each other.
We get along.
But the one thing that you got to do is stop and open the door more for communication. Okay.
It was hard though because her English is so poor that she
No
has to, I tell her you have to speak loud and slow for me to understand.
No excuses. No excuses. Tell him that he has to. If he's going to speak English, tell him he has to go slow too. But I actually see you getting it.
Just think of that. I came from Brazil. I didn't speak one word in English. I have a degree. I brought up 3 wonderful kids, okay? And he doesn't even speak Portuguese.
A little
when
bit.
the kids was
Shame
little,
on
he would
you.
come to me and say, what she said, what he said.
A little bit.
Yeah. I have a friend that's from Argentina, and her husband doesn't speak Spanish. And she, the kids do with her. And, I love me. And the other day, I had some people come in from China, and they were in a restaurant, and it was kind of cool because I had an interpreter, And I actually will tell you, I do definitely am going to encourage you to get your degree in psychology.
That would be perfect if I do that.
I'm
thinking. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about going back to school. That's for sure.
Education is very important to both of you, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
What about law school?
No.
Mm,
No.
I don't know.
What about exercise nutrition?
That's not nice.
No, I have a question totally off the wall. She might not even get it. Now, when you go back to Brazil, are you going to go to the Carmen Miranda Museum?
Oh, no.
She knows Carmen Miranda.
Oh, really?
Or she knows
I will
of her.
not go
Yeah.
there.
The lady with the funny outfits.
Yeah.
The
So what's
Chiquita banana lady.
What's
Yeah.
your wife's first name?
Clasia.
The one thing that I am looking at with you is that I'm glad that you're going back to Brazil. When
We don't know.
I would probably hurry up and go ASAP because I don't see your mother in really good health. Okay?
No, she's not.
And
I
you're
know.
going to have to go and let her know. Because if you don't go within the next 2 months, maybe 3, if you don't go, you're going to be going through a lot of guilt for not going.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm so divided right now because
And your
I
children
cannot
will
get
do well.
the COVID because of my daughter.
Yeah.
I cannot get the COVID because of her. And the other hand, my mother needs me, and I can't go there. It's so
You're not going to have. You're not going to have COVID. Okay. You're not. You're going to be. And your children will do well when you're in Brazil. We don't know about your husband managing to live by himself, but he'll do okay too. I'm looking at.
He gets lost. My sister, when I used to go to Brazil, my sister would come over and say, "Oh my God, he's so lost. It's unbelievable." When you coming back?
I do my own laundry. I do the grocery shopping. I pay the bills. I do my own food.
What do you let her do?
She doesn't do anything. She watches soap
But you
operas all
cannot
day.
live without me. You know that.
You got 40 more years together. Okay.
Oh my God, that's too
Oh,
much.
JT, put JT on the phone so to talk to Norm. Norm loves talking to JT.
Do
Hey.
you want to talk to Norman? Do you want to say hi to him? Say hi, Dada.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
wanna
say hi.
to Dada.
Jordana.
Okay, and then say hi, Dada. Hi, Dada.
Hi, my lovey. Hi, Angel. Hey, I'm here with my friend Norm. He thinks you're a celebrity.
What did he say?
You
don't want to talk anymore?
She's very
Tell her I
shy.
said she's a celebrity.
He's saying you're going to be a celebrity.
Yeah, you are now. Yeah.
Someday she will be a celebrity.
Yes, she will. When she gets ready, I want her to come back on that show and read some of her poems. She writes poems, right?
Yeah, she writes music
Yes.
lyrics. But that's the other thing is, she has Down syndrome. I mean, her grammar's not perfect, her spelling's not perfect, but she writes journals. She's a prolific writer.
I bet she's a better speller than I am. I don't know how I ever graduated from school, But, one of the things I am going to tell you as well, I really need to encourage you to go as soon as you can to Brazil. You're not going to get the COVID virus.
Okay. Yeah, because I worry about a lot about my daughter.
Yeah, she's going to
I'm
be
very
fine.
close to her.
Yeah, she's going to do well. I actually looking at her publishing some poetry.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
She's going to publish some poetry, some of the poems that she writes. I actually see them being published.
Nice.
Yeah.
She already wrote a music, which it's kind of cool. And
Oh, she wrote a song,
someday
yeah.
I will send a copy with Ross for you to see it.
She wrote a song, and her music, she doesn't have the best voice, but her music teacher put it to piano and sang it, and it was actually a pretty good song.
Have her make a copy so when you come on again, we can play it.
I can send it to you on Facebook.
Please do.
We can sing along.
Yeah, one thing that I don't believe in disabilities. I really
No, she
don't.
doesn't.
No, and you've got a remarkable young daughter there. And
say it again?
You've got a remarkable daughter. And so
Yes, I do.
yeah. And I will also tell you that you being a remarkable mother, and this hurts me to be nice, but remarkable husband who really, both of you do care about your children. And you both express how important education is.
It is. We think a lot about their future, and we do as much as we can to help them and to encourage them to do something.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's a college degree or not, but it matters that they have something under their belt. That
By the way,
they can,
in 3 years you're going to be a grandmother.
3 years?
Yeah.
Ay.
I look at your son meeting someone that you both are going to approve of. And I look at you being a grandmother to a daughter. A granddaughter.
Oh my God, I'm going to be old.
No.
You already are old.
There's somebody for you to spoil.
That's true. Start all over again.
Yeah. See, what's funny is when your grandchildren, and after my granddaughter, because she moved away when she was 8, I could do whatever I wanted and then send them home to her parents after, That's the fun part.
That would be perfect.
Right. Well, I've got to let you go. We got another
All right.
call, okay?
Talk to you
You
later.
too. Yeah.
Nice talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Now, what were you going to say? Now, she's a beautiful lady. I want to meet her in person. Next time you come on.
Didn't you meet her?
No.
I thought I brought her with my daughter. I didn't bring my wife?
No.
Oh.
You tied your wife up and
You're in big
bound
trouble
her.
later.
Yeah. You tied her to a chair.
I thought my wife came in with my daughter.
No.
Are you guys friends on Facebook?
I don't think so.
All right, I'm going to have you do a friend request.
His daughter is so remarkable. And she doesn't do the horseback riding anymore either.
No, they closed during COVID, and so I don't know what's happening.
I think the problem is that this COVID has got so blown out of proportion, and it's a moneymaker today. My son went to CMC 3 different times and he checked for that $100 every time he went.
Wow.
And that's wrong.
Where did I see? I saw a free place for COVID testing today. I was driving around the city.
Convenient MD does it for free, so
Yeah,
don't they?
I saw.
Convenient MD in Bedford is free.
I was driving to MCC, the college today, and I forget where I drove by, but I saw a free usually drive up north, so it would be
There was one
Maple
by JFK.
Street.
Yeah.
There was one across from JFK.
That's
Stadium
where
in
it
the
was.
school.
Yeah. It was right around JFK. That's what it was.
Yeah, 'cause I
I'm
went over to
glad you
Beach Street
mentioned
School.
that JFC
There was a
thing.
free testing
Right.
at the JFK, or across from
It was
JFK.
across from JFK.
I am
yeah.
very upset with the Park and Recreations
Why?
because these hammerheads,
Hammerhead?
yeah,
What's a
the
hammerhead?
powers that may be in the office,
Oh, it's a-
they're
yeah.
charging people to get in to have a Halloween party, $3 and $5. And if they have a costume, they're going to get a prize. What happens if the person has 5 kids, or what happens if the child doesn't have a costume? Does that mean they're not going to get a prize? You know, or they're not going to be able to get in? I'm sorry, I don't agree with it.
They can get in, but everybody can't get a prize, Norm.
No, I mean,
You know.
a goodie bag.
Oh.
That's what I'm upset.
Oh,
And they
right,
never
I
responded. Usually I compliment them,
Yeah.
and they never responded back. You know, and I'm just upset over that because when my kids were growing up, we
Did you
lived in
call the park
Laconia.
department?
Huh?
Have you called the park
I
department?
absolutely. They haven't
Good.
called me back.
They
But
won't.
they have clubhouses in Manchester, right? That they don't utilize
Nothing that I can think of.
over on the west side. There's a park house. A lot of them. They used to have a lot of park houses, but we used to have every park house had an association, and every park or the American Legion or all they would have all these big Halloween parties for kids. I'm afraid for the kids to go Halloween trick or treating now. I am, and it's sad, but they would go in every park house.
I liked how they did it in the old time before. So now they do it on Halloween at night, which I think is dangerous. I liked it when they did it. They would say it's going to be on a weekend. It's going to be from like 2 in the afternoon to 4, so it was light out, so you could see. I think that's a lot safer.
Yeah.
In the last few years or recently, they changed it to nighttime on Halloween. I think that's a bad idea because it's
I
dark
agree,
and they can't
yeah.
see them. Have it on a weekend during the middle of the day when it's nice and light and you can see everything. But that's what I think.
And because my granddaughter, she used to come home when the daughter, because we lived on the west side, always said, she'd come home, we'd go with her. You know, I think parents should accomplish, or an adult should. And she'd come home with bags and bags of candy.
Sure.
And we would go to the clubhouses in Laconia, and people would have a good time, Christmas parties. That's what we need to do with the children. That's not enough programs, except unless you belong to the boys club. I think it's a joke, but that's okay. Or they got the Girls Inc., or they got this and that. They don't have different organization that will help them. Like the American Legion used to have a Halloween party, Christmas party, and all this has changed now, and that bothers me. You know. And Brian, I'm going to turn this over to you for a couple. You got 5 minutes to tell people why you're running for a school board. Can you do it in 5 minutes?
Can I do it in 5 minutes?
Oh, you can do it quicker than that.
No, you've got 5 minutes. Then you got 5 minutes.
There's a lot of things that need to change in the school board. Like I said, the educational
big the
system. Our district is 152 out of 158. We're at the bottom. We should be at the top. I believe it's a policy issue. Sorry, not topping there. It's a policy issue. I mean, the money's going to help.
When you talk about the policy, are you talking about things that are in writing?
Yeah, there's no structure right now. There's no strategic plan. They spend $183 million every year. They have 1,200 employees, and there's no strategic plan.
So what would you improve? That
The structure.
but
The structure
what?
you want core courses, core English, core math. If a child is struggling, then we need to add more courses in the core category to get that child up to speed. Don't push a child through grades, because then he's just going to get more lost and more lost and more lost. You're going to exacerbate the problem. That's the thing that we need to eliminate.
When I was getting very angry when the guy we was talking to you. You guys got thick skin.
Yeah,
I was not
He was
appreciative.
upset, but I don't.
He was
I'll be
more than
open.
upset.
I'll be
Yeah.
open to
Wow.
reading about that, and I'll find out about it.
well,
Right.
I don't
That's
want.
what
It's,
was
I don't want to
saying.
be ignorant about something.
Yeah.
I think he thinks I was ignorant of it. I just don't know about
I've
it.
never heard of it.
I picked up an anti-government vibe,
Oh, yeah.
and I mean, there's a quote that I
he
love
was lambasting you because you didn't know
about the
what he
Prussian
wanted you to
education
know
system.
about.
Right.
I
don't know everything.
That was
ridiculous.
It was. I went. I love this quote.
for you.
I was at a medical conference years ago at the Mount Washington Hotel, and there was this cardiologist. This guy lived in heart doctor. He lived and breathed cardiology, and I think this quote's appropriate in this situation. And his wife was not a doctor, so he had a PowerPoint presentation, and he wanted to kind of get a feel of what the audience would be thinking. So this guy just loved cardiology, and so he had all his slides. He showed his wife, and at the end she goes, "What did you think?" And she said, "Nobody cares about the things that you care about." So people get all wrapped up in their opinion and what they think is so important. But I think that it's good from a history of education perspective to know. I've heard about the Prussian education system. It was just years ago. I couldn't remember the details. But I don't think the Prussian education system is extremely important to modern education today. It's good to know about the details of it. It's good to know about the history of education. Obviously, he thought it was important. I just don't think it's extremely relevant to this day. And I believe I get the sense that he believes that we're still stuck in the Prussian education system. He thought it made automatons who just follow the government without thinking. I think that an enlightened. I like to think of when I think of education, I like to think of Martin Luther, the original Martin Luther, the monk, the German monk.
Right.
And one of the nice things is, my dad was Catholic, so I'd attend a Catholic church, and my mom was Protestant, so I'd attend Protestant. And it was just I got a really good view of religion. I think a very more open view. But what we learned and think about Martin Luther, you had the Catholic Church and very doctrinaire. And then they were selling indulgences, if you remember the Reformation, and at the time they were building the Vatican or building parts of the Vatican, and they said, if you give us money, indulgences, your sins are gone. Yeah. And people believed it, so they were giving money to the Catholic Church. And Martin Luther was reading the Bible. It said, he read about Jesus, and he said, the only way to God is through me, the Father is through the Son. And he had an epiphany. He said, wait a minute, you can't buy your way into heaven. But what struck me about education is that Martin Luther obviously had a good education. He was able to reason. He was able to read. And that's what the ability of, I think the main function of education should be, is to make people independent so that they aren't fed an opinion, that they can evaluate legitimate things from illegitimate, so they aren't deceived. And that's what struck me about Martin Luther. He was able to read, he was able to reason. He was like, wait a minute, the authorities have been telling me this, but I'm going to the primary source, and the primary source is telling me something completely different. They're wrong. And then he went to the church. He nailed up his 95 thesis, or 99. I think it was less than 100. Yeah. He got in a lot of trouble. He created, there was a lot of bloodshed. But that's what education, in a nutshell, should be: is that we educate good citizens, but people who have a background, who can read and who can reason. Because if you can read, nothing against all the other subjects, but if you can read, you can teach yourself math.
That's exactly
you can
right.
teach yourself history. You can teach yourself science. I've learned so much. I love to read. That's one good thing that my father gave me, is he loved to read. He was a construction worker, but he loved to read poetry. It was amazing. My dad was he was drafted into the Army during the Korean War. He was an airborne. He was a paratrooper. He was a construction worker, but yet back in the 1940s and 50s, when he went to high school, the Boston Public School gave him an excellent education. He loved poetry. He loved to read. And you would think somebody, a rough blue-collar guy like that wouldn't, but he was very highly educated. He read poetry all the time. And that's what we should be doing. We should, really, I believe the focus should be on reading and logic and reasoning, so that you're independent, so that nobody can pull the wool over your eyes, so that you can look at the world and understand it on your own, under your own power. Right. That's what I believe. But again, a lot of those subjects, math and science, I've taught myself plenty of subjects on my own.
I did better on my own than I did when I was in school.
And nothing. I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't teach math and science and history.
Oh yeah.
But the important thing is reading and logic and reasoning.
If you disagree, all right, say like when you get elected. I said when you get elected. Okay, I can't believe it. Are you afraid to have an argument if you don't agree with them? Are you willing to be outspoken on it?
Yes, I'll speak my mind.
Okay. I've never seen Brian angry.
No, I mean
or argumentative, but I think he's going to have his work cut out for him, because you have to have different points of views, but the current school board is very, and there's nothing you have to have different points of view. It's very left of center right now. And, Brian, I would consider a moderate to slightly right of center. So he's going to have his work cut out for him. He's definitely going to come to the school board, I believe, from a different perspective.
Okay. Next Wednesday, this is exciting. I have Sarah Beth Beaudry.
Beaudry. From in-town.
Yeah, from
she's
in-town.
Great.
I'm excited about her coming.
I am
on,
too.
And if you want to come and sit with us, you're welcome to. Okay.
Well, I'll be working, but if maybe I should come
Yeah,
back.
if you want to come in, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Then I have my friend Eric Boats Harney. He's from Paranormal.
I don't know him.
No.
But I know
I always
Sarah.
tell him if he don't behave himself, I'm going to rub his leg. He says, okay, so he took all the fun away. Then supposedly, I got Mike Lopez supposed to be coming.
Oh,
So
Mike's a great guy.
he is. And I'm going to have to get a hold of him to see if he's still doing it. Then that guy that just called,
Angry guy.
Yeah. His ex-girlfriend, Lindsay Antenna, is coming on. She's a very strong spiritual woman.
Wait a minute. You know that guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I know who he is.
Oh,
Okay.
And now, any bad blood between him and his ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine.
So maybe he'll call in.
Yeah. Then I got Dr. Jody, who's a homeopathic, okay, and she does all the natural healings and stuff like that, coming on. So we got a busy month. Now I got to start getting more, okay. Brian, when you win, you're always going to be welcome onto the show.
Thank you for having
Win
me.
or lose, you're always going to be welcome.
Thank you.
He's gonna win. He's gonna
Yeah,
win. I told you.
we'll slam
Small
the
margin.
Democrats.
What's that?
We didn't do that, did we? We didn't really slam the Democrats. Well, you and I
No,
don't.
I don't. I mean,
I don't agree with
most
the
of my
policy.
family's Democrats.
Yeah.
I
You're
grew
the
up in
little
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I grew up in a Union Democrat household.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few Republicans in my family. So I don't slam Democrats because
Yeah.
they were my relatives.
Do I agree with Joyce Craig? No,
Oh.
absolutely not.
Actually, I'm gonna boost your opinion of Democrats right now. My daughter Jordana is a Democrat. She's a registered Democrat.
No. Yeah,
And Classia, my wife's a Democrat.
yeah, I know that. Yeah, now that's your oldest daughter.
No, Jordana. No, Jordana's the oldest with Downs,
Yeah.
and then Alexandra's in the middle. She's an independent. It's strange. So my wife and my oldest are Democrats. My middle
I still vote.
is an independent, and then my son and myself are Republicans.
And then what my biggest complaint is, and I get called all kinds of names. Trust me. You're not a very good spiritualist. You don't believe in. I don't believe in Biden. I'm sorry. I'm not changing my points of view. And if you don't think I'm good at what I do, hey, say what if you're going to judge me or you, if they're going to judge it by our political parties, they're not true, Fred, and they're not true people.
I think, and I'll say this: it's unfortunate the country's polarized, and there's a divide between. I think Republicans and Democrats, for the most part, want the same thing. It's about how we get there.
Yeah.
I think that the
I
approach.
don't think we do. They do want the same things. I mean, look at what they're trying to throw down our throats, especially when it comes to voting rights. Let's face it. If dead people voted for Republicans, the Democrats would not only would they want voter ID, they'd want fingerprinting, they'd want a DNA sample.
Well, we
Right?
show ID
So,
now.
yeah.
See, this is what I don't understand the concept of. When I go to vote, they'll say to me, "Oh, it's you." I go, "Yep." I always show so I don't understand the big deal about not showing ID.
It's not a big deal.
I don't.
isn't.
You
It's
do
no
it when you
deal
go
at
to the
all.
bank, right? And when you buy cigarettes and stuff. I got carded. I bought my daughter-in-law a pack of cigarettes. They won the car. I said, "No, you don't really want." Yeah, I do. I said, "Okay."
But you need an ID for a lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
to drive a car, to open
Yeah.
a bank account, for to get a job. It's. I think it's a
to buy
non-issue.
some beer.
Yeah.
I don't
Standard,
know. I can know when I went down to the Coliseum down here, and they carded me because I bought my friend a beer. I gave him a $5 tip. 'Cause believe me, I
Because
won't.
they carded you.
Yeah. And the one thing I will say, in Manchester, we had the best medical care that you could ask for. When I know you work at CMC, but there I got good care. But when they went to when I went up to the Hitchcock on Wellington Road, and the doctors there were so fantastic. I mean, she was from India. She could buy me a pair of
What's her
purple
name?
pumps. Patilla.
Okay.
Okay. She's a breast specialist. And she could buy me a pair of purple pumps. So when I go in, I have to wear my purple pumps, she said, okay? And doctors don't really come to your room She came 3 times to make sure I was okay. And then when I had to have another neurologist come and they had to clean the cancer out of the, my sickles and stuff. Elliott Hospital is so fantastic. I cannot complain, The only thing I complained about was the bill, but that's okay. Thank God for insurance, But I can't say enough about the medical facilities here in Manchester, whether it's CNC, whether it's Wellington Road or wherever. We do, folks. I don't want to hear any complaints about them because then you're going to hear my wrath that I got a bad one. And I am proud to say that our medical staff here is taught. It should be A1. They're better than the Massachusetts Generalism. I think they're top notch. So anybody that don't be afraid of it, and that's because a lot of them. I thought a lot of the NAs went to the schools here in Manchester. Here's how I put that right in there. Huh? Education is so important. Folks, I actually am concerned about that. You're going to get a lot more homeschooling than you are going to be people actually
have a lot of
attending
homeschools
classes.
now.
And that's going to be on the increase. Okay?
Unless there's change.
And it's not going to change.
Improvement.
Yeah. People are going to not want. And, parents have got, I don't think you're single. My biggest problem is, to see if you agree with me, your teachers are not your babysitters. Don't you agree?
Right.
The Boys and Girls Clubs are not your babysitters. They have that kids cafe through the Salvation Army. They're not your babysitters. The problem that I had is it's easier for the parents to shift the kids off so they don't have that responsibility. And so that makes government control as far as I'm concerned. And I think that, did I think that my oldest son could do no wrong? Absolutely. But I learned the hard way. We got it. It's a teacher. There are going to be some teachers that are not always good. We know that, okay? But the teachers have got to earn the respect of the student, and the students have got to earn the respect, okay? And one of the philosophies I have a feeling is that you're going to do what's right for the students, and the citizens. Not so much what is right for the school board, not so much what's right for the superintendent. Am I clear?
No,
the spirit is really high.
It's supposed to be about the kids.
Yeah, and people have lost that.
Yeah, and you shouldn't lose that. If you're on the school board, it should be all about the kids and making them, giving them the best opportunity to succeed in life.
In 3 years, I better get an invitation to your wedding. You and I both, right?
I hope you're right.
Okay, we're never gonna.
We got to teach them to stop slamming the.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Hey, I told him.
Idle hands.
But you're also. It's hard for you to change your ways. Because you've always been a sole practitioner, so to speak. You're a hard-working business person. You're You're honest, which is very few between. But you also you've worked very hard to have the respect of your community. You're not always going to like that guy there. You're not always going to have people that like you. Same way with you.
But he doesn't know about the Prussian education history role model.
So, I know.
I didn't even heard of it.
I had heard it. I just couldn't remember.
I've never heard. I'm old. I've never ever heard of that in my life. And it's the funniest thing. You mentioned the name Horace Mann, right? The National Hypnosis Guild is based in New Hampshire, and who is it named in honor of? Horace Mann.
Yeah.
Now we learn something new every day. So he taught us something.
Yeah,
So I don't know if it's the same one, but it could be the way he was going on about the age of the guy. So, Horace Mann, a hypnotist.
So that's your homework, is to look up the Horace Mann and the Prussian education.
Yep, I've got it in my pocket.
And you know what? You're going to.
I will.
You will.
I'm curious.
Yeah, and I got to take a refresher course on hypnosis, and I want to start doing more.
Talk to Matt
regressions. They had a great one here.
I have a certificate that I took.
Yeah, I got to read more. Yeah,
Hypnosis.
My son hypnotized himself back in 1992 for cigarette smoking, and he hadn't picked one up since.
It works.
Yeah, and I did it for 8 years ago when Matt caught it. He hypnotized me. I didn't realize I looked like a fat baby whale when I looked over there,
You were a beautiful baby whale.
That's right. But, and the one thing that's good, and I recommend everybody have their own TV show or whatever, because the one thing that is good about it is you learn how to be outspoken. When I was growing up, I was made fun of, so I used to hide behind a refrigerator or all that. But this show has given me the confidence, and I meet a lot of important people. Like you know how Animal Ross. You know Ross? Terrio?
Well, I'm not on. I'm questionable.
Questionable. You got Gary Hopper, you know.
Yeah.
And I love bringing the politicians. You know, I wish more Democrats would come in, but that's okay too. Though.
You gotta invite Joyce Craig on the show.
I did.
Did she say?
Multiple
did
They
she
never
times.
responded back. That's right. I had
Multiple times.
That guy. What's his name? The
Bill Barry?
pizza on Elm Street there. He owns a mint.
Oh, Baines, Tim Baines.
Yeah, he's been on my show.
Oh, excellent.
I like him.
But well, you're friends with Bill Barry. Invite Bill Barry on.
Yeah, he won't come on.
Why not?
I invited him. He'll talk to me on the phone.
Yeah, he just won't come.
But I was listening to what you were saying about the car parking. It wasn't, you know,
Oh yeah, the lady was mad at me.
This guy was complaining about how this car from General Tire, they were had like 4 or 5 cars there when sending in General Tire. Bill came. Nothing he could do about it. And he told him right on. And so finally, the guy sent him over the other car. Come find out the guy who complained put 7 cars there.
Oh, so the other people couldn't park there?
Right. And he owned a garage there, right next to it. Okay. But Bill Barry and I went on the park, and we're not done yet. Cause that's some things that I want to do. But I had more fun slamming the people. Cause I want Manchester. I love Manchester. Okay. What will you do to improve your education? We got 1 minute.
Just the things that I've been talking about. You know,
And how, if they want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
I have my website, briandcole.com. We built that. You can reach me on my cell phone, 670-8045. Or you can reach me by email, bcole794@gmail.com.
Do you have a Facebook page?
I have a Facebook page, yeah. It's Brian
Yeah,
D.
we check you out on Facebook.
Yeah, Brian D. Cole, School Board, Manchester.
And Ross, how do they get a hold
Ross
of you?
Terrio, Alderman Ward 7. My cell phone is 603-820-9064. My email is rterrio@manchesternh.gov. So RTERRIO @manchesternh, all one word, .gov, G-O-V. But, and hopefully, actually, please vote for me on Tuesday, November 2nd, and vote for Brian Cole on Tuesday, November 2nd, and we'll be there pretty much all day, standing at the polls with our sign. Stop by and say hi.
Yep.
And how do they get a hold of you?
Oh, wait. I have and I have new cards, by the way.
Yeah.
lowellmediumshop.com or 617-777-2236 biffid biffid @yahoo.com. Get in contact. We can arrange. You'll have a fantastic reading.
Yeah, mine is right there, spiritualvisionary.net. I'm also on Facebook, and my second vision by Norm at Comcast.net, and it's 289-4789. And everybody, we'll see you. Thank you guys for coming in. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
And you too.
David, pleasure meeting you.